Welcome to the Tuttle Kline Show.
Yeah, I got the boys in the other room, so I apologize in advance if they start fighting or something like that.
Oh, do they fight a lot?
Oh, they go after each other sometimes.
Really?
Oh, they're feisty, dude.
Ah.
They're my half Mexican ones.
Yes, but is it fair? I mean, there's about a 5-year age difference.
Dallas, it has such long arms. I mean, Dallas is huge now.
Right.
I mean, he's huge, so he just holds him back with one arm and kind of laughs about it.
Oh, really?
But Timmy's feisty.
I get that. Yeah.
And I was just, as a matter of fact, I was just talking to Dallas. Dallas was telling me that he saw, I don't know, TikTok or whatever he watches, YouTube or something like that, that some guy, he was worried because he smoked weed. He was worried about a drug test. So he switched urine with another sample, like on the counter.
Okay.
And that guy got busted for cocaine and meth and everything.
Not so bright.
I was like, hey, man, you know, it's a risk you take.
Hey, with marijuana being legal in some states and not in other states, how can they police that in job employment now?
It's all random based on agendas, man.
Oh, okay.
Do they want to bust somebody or fire somebody or something like that? It's different rules for everybody. You see how the world is now.
Yeah.
You know, they got Trump on trial for doing exactly what Clinton did with Paula Jones and paying her off 800 G's. Same thing.
Oh, he paid her 800 G's?
Yeah, 800 G's. And
Trump's
you know,
cheap then.
Yeah, Trump paid her much less, but he's on trial. He's on trial. And nobody from Epstein, the list, has ever been brought to public or brought to trial. That's so freaking funny to me.
Well, with his death, Epstein's death, that kind of fell by the wayside, huh?
Oh, yeah. They buried that quickly.
Yeah, you don't hear about that anymore.
Oh, you will, though, eventually.
Oh. Hey, have you watched that Kevin Spacey documentary?
I have not. I heard it. I heard it's brutal. I'm so bummed out about it. You know, you had an idea he was that way, but he was such a great actor, man.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with what Kevin Spacey did, my recollection of it, he was grooming men, boys, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So and there's it's a Netflix documentary called Unmasking Spacey, and he has vehemently denied it, but yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, Kev, see, the thing is with him and like Weinstein, it was a running joke. Everybody knew about it.
$10,
$5,
$8, and I'll do it.
fine.
Help! I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement. Help me! Ha! I am so outrageous. Give me the cash.
I mean, where are the alphas just to kick people's ass? If you know something like that, I mean, to my knowledge, only one person has ever stood up. Brad Pitt.
You do come out as, you know, one of the heroes of this story. You confronted a guy that very few people were willing to confront, apparently.
Oh, well, I think that's a bit much. I have a couple things to say. I mean, at that moment, you know, I was I was a boy from the Ozarks on the playground, and that's how we confronted with things. And wanted to make sure nothing happened further because she was going to do 2 films.
Yep. Brad Pitt did it with Weinstein.
Brad Pitt went into Harvey Weinstein's office when he found out about the Gwyneth Paltrow thing, who was his fiance at the time, I think, right?
Yeah.
And grabbed Weinstein by the shirt, pinned him against the wall, and said, if you ever lay a finger on Gwyneth again, I will fucking kill you.
Which, had I known Harvey Weinstein, I'd have done the same thing.
No, you wouldn't have.
For Gwynny? Yeah.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt is the only guy with enough star power where he didn't need Weinstein.
Yeah, no, he wasn't getting messed with.
No, I mean, you know, if Weinstein blocked him out of all the Miramax stuff, he would still be fine.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but, you know, it just makes me wonder, you know, I mean, instead of making jokes about it, somebody stand up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
somebody
absolutely.
stand up.
But then you're talking about careers and, you know, I mean, they hold that over their heads, man.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. I get it. Nobody wants to rock the boat, even
Mm-hmm.
though the boat is like sinking and going down.
Yep, exactly.
Can't rock it, even though we're going to be on the bottom of the ocean soon. Can't rock it.
But how about that bullshit that he gets a new trial? Weinstein gets a new trial.
It's all bizarro world out there now, man.
It certainly is.
Our justice system is anything but justice. It's a kangaroo court. It's ridiculous. It's a mockery. And I don't want to get upset with that stuff, Kev. I want to celebrate the Indy 500, buddy. I like your T-shirt there, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I got this the year that Marcus Ericsson won his first and only so far. And I would have gotten my money back yesterday because Marcus Ericsson was the first out.
Yeah, exactly. On the when you pull the names, yep.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how boy, that was a terrible month for him. I'm sure he wants that in the rearview mirror as fast as possible.
Yeah, the Indy 500, for those unaware, there's a lot of people like, well, yeah, is it that? It's a huge deal. I mean, I grew up in Indiana, so it's woven in the fabric of my DNA. I mean, my first race I ever saw when I was a little boy was AJ Foyt from Houston winning his fourth one, 1977. My brother and I.
The black and white checkered flag, and in the pits, the red and white checkered shirts of the Gilmore Foyt team. It's all over. AJ has done it. He has won his fourth Indianapolis 500.
If you haven't ever been to an Indy 500, even if you have just a slight curiosity about it, you must put it on your bucket list to go, because I was that way before Tim took me. I was like, yeah, I'll occasionally watch it on TV. Then Tim took me to my first one. I am fucking hooked.
It's so awesome.
Tim, literally the entire month of May, I get so excited. And then I almost cry after the checkered flag drops because I got to wait a whole nother year now.
Yeah, Kev, the pre-race festivities, particularly the Memorial Day and the Fallen Soldier angle to it that is just so awesome, so incredible.
I've not had a dry eye when Taps plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 21 gun salute Taps. I mean, Kev, the double flyover had 2 flyovers this year.
That's right. Yeah, with the Thunderbirds, they flew over in formation for the national anthem, and then
Back home again in Indiana.
Yeah, when I was a little kid growing up, Jim Neighbors every year.
Back home again in Indiana.
I always flipped out. You know, there's Private Pile.
Yeah,
Gomer Pyle, and look how he sings, man.
Would it be sacrilege to say that Jim Cornelison is better than Gomer Pyle or the Jim Neighbors? I love Cornelison's voice.
Did you hear the lightning strike there?
Yes, I did. Yeah, sorry.
Did you hear that? Careful.
Yeah, careful.
I'm a born and raised Hoosier.
Hey, speaking of lightning strikes, did you see the video of Metallica's concert?
Oh, yeah, 40 years later.
Right, yep.
I mean, every concert you go to, you're waiting for that to happen. Come on, lightning. Come on. Okay, not this time.
Totally waiting for it.
Real quick, the best concert I ever saw was Guns N' Roses and Metallica.
That was that was early in the Guns N' Roses career, right?
92 or 93.
Yeah. Where did you see that show?
At the Hoosier Dome.
Ah, okay.
Packed Hoosier Dome.
Of course.
And Metallica they buried Guns N' Roses live.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that because they were first. It was a co-headliner situation, but Metallica went first. Their goal every night was to bury Guns N' Roses, which they did. I mean, Guns N' Roses was great. Don't get me wrong, they were great, but you don't want to jack with Metallica.
No, I saw Metallica's second show on the Black Album, just simply titled Metallica, but it's been known as the Black Album. I saw the second show at the Frank Irwin Center on the campus of UT Austin, and they played for 2 hours and 30 minutes. The house lights came on. Everybody starts filtering out. Hetfield comes back on stage and goes, "You motherfuckers ain't going home yet, are you?" Everybody filters back in. He's like, "Hey, man," he goes, "this is the second show of the tour. We got some things we need to work out. You guys don't mind if we jam up here for another 30 minutes? And they played 3 songs, worked them out. Yeah, it was amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
And you felt like a part of it too, didn't you? You were like, because you know, you were early on and they didn't have that tweaked yet.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. No, I felt like I was right there. Yeah, for sure.
It was kind of like the time, I think it was 1992 or something like that, when I went into this movie theater with a date of mine. We wanted a movie theater with like nobody there. And, you know, because of my date, we wanted to be in the movie theater, just us. You know what I'm saying, Cav?
I'm following you, sir.
Do I have to paint a picture, Cav?
No, sir, you don't. I think Alanis Morissette said it best.
I know the version of me. Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater?
Exactly. But here's the thing. It was this absolutely unknown independent movie. And I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Reservoir Dogs.
No, never heard of it. No.
Tarantino.
Yes, of course.
I'm like one of the only people that has ever seen Reservoir Dogs in a theater because it didn't do well in theaters.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But I remember the whole time just going, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Listen to the dialogue. Hey, honey, get your head up. Listen to the dialogue. Listen to the dialogue. She was pissed too.
Oh,
She was like, "Boom, chicken, boom." She came and she was down. She was down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
But I was like up looking at the screen going, "Oh my God. They're like talking like regular people.
Yeah.
This is so cool."
Yeah, no, you're watching TV and she's tickling your Mr. Pink.
Put it this way, Kev. Mrs. Pink didn't get Mr. Pink at that time.
Timmy T, I'll be the cleaner.
Oh, that's funny, Kev.
Thank you, sir.
I remember afterwards I was having like a think tank discussion with her driving and everything like that, and she's like, what the fuck is this?" Yeah. Anyway, Hooters waitresses, they're so fun.
Hey, we were just talking about the Indy 500. That brings up my top 3. Can we get to it?
Hold on real quick. Before we do that, we got to put to bed the Indy 500 real quick.
Okay.
I don't know if you realize this, but I'm watching Poolside here, and, there's somebody listening in on the radio of it. And, there's a lot of Mexican Americans at the pool.
Uh-huh.
And we almost had our first Mexican American winner in history.
White flag, amigo. White flag. White flag, amigo. Here it comes. There has never been a Mexican driver win the Indianapolis 500. Maybe that time is now. With one more lap to go, Pato goes to the lead.
He's not going to lift this time. He did it against Erickson and lost Pato Award to the front off of turn 2.
5 back. 6 back. Award tries to break the draft. Newgarden's like, I've been in this situation before. Joseph Newgarden around the outside of Pato Award. This is mind-blowing. Joseph Newgarden had to wait 12 times to win it, and now he's going to do it back-to-back. Joseph Newgarden is a 2-time Indy 500 winner.
Pato Award. It doesn't sound very Mexican.
Correct.
His dad's Irish,
but
his mom, he was born in Monterrey, Mexico, and his mom's maiden name is Junco, and he's from San Antonio. And boy, that would have just been a massive thing for Indy racing, and massive thing, period, especially for places like Houston with a large Mexican population. They were getting nuts out there, and then you could just see him going, ah. But Joseph Newgarden, it's tough to not root for that guy.
I love Newgarden. Oh, yeah, no, I love Newgarden. Great guy. I mean, that was one of the things that I was thinking about this morning when did you watch any of the pre-race? I mean, it was 4 hours long.
A bunch of it.
They interviewed him right almost at the outset. I don't know if I've ever heard of a more well-spoken athlete.
Oh, he's really good.
Oh, my God, dude. He is so savvy, and just everything he says is so clear and concise. And I love the guy.
I love the way he had his son kiss the bricks too. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I mean that's almost like a John JFK funeral thing where he saluted. Having his little boy kiss the bricks. I mean, that'll be Kev. That'll be a massively popular picture, framed picture in Indiana. Everybody will get that one.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Of the kid kissing the bricks. I like Newgarden. The only thing I don't like is he stole my celebration idea. I always thought, I would, when I was a kid, when you're a kid in Indiana, you dream about racing in the Indy 500. But I always dreamed that I would go into the crowd.
Well, yeah, and that's what he does. So
he goes into the crowd. I mean, Helio Castroneves, that's pretty cool with the Spider-Man on the fence, which you saw one of his victories with me in Indy, didn't you? Didn't we watch Helio?
We did.
Yeah, Helio won one of them, and I thought that was cool. But I always thought to myself, "Yeah, you got to go in. You got to go in, man. Somebody's got to go in," and he went in.
Yeah, no, and it was spontaneous the first year. This year, he said he had planned it out, and he said that's what he's going to do every year if he's fortunate enough to win another one.
Do you see the Indiana State Troopers too? They're like, "Oh shit, he's coming to this section."
Yeah,
they're just sitting there talking, and they're like, "Oh god, we got to." They're like scrambling and running to do some crowd control.
That's what Trish said. She's like, "Yeah, he might think it's all fun and games, but the guards, they hate it."
They because the Indiana State Troopers, I mean, he can't be stabbed by a fan on their watch. That would be bad.
It would be horrible.
So here they are. I mean, they've had a long day already, 4-hour delay, 3.5-hour race. And now he's coming to the stands like, whoa, I've been here since 3 a.m, man. And they're running over, trying to keep their hat on.
You're not dealing with the most sober of folk there.
No. And you got to be on guard, because some of them get a little exuberant. I don't think anybody will ever mean harm.
No,
but some of them will get exuberant.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, man, that sporting event and any death metal concert, that is probably the salt of the earth crowd you're ever going to run across. I mean, there's absolutely no risk of danger. Yeah,
you're more likely to get accosted and molested in church than at those venues.
Seriously.
Particularly if you're an altar boy.
As you were.
Yes, I was.
Tim, one of the rare ones that escaped.
Yeah, let me say that right now. I just want to clarify, because since I just made a joke, that I was never hit on once.
And it scarred him for life.
And I was good looking.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong with me, Father? I mean, I'd even put a little musk on.
The priest asked him to take him to Reservoir Dogs.
All right, get your top 3 going, Kevin.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle Kline's top 3.
All right, so going around a 2.5-mile oval track at 240 miles per hour on the straightaways, and then 230, 229 at the turns is incredibly dangerous. I mean, we've seen somebody lose their life before in auto racing, so it got me thinking. Top 3 most dangerous things you've ever done.
Oh my God. Well, one of them, dating and marrying and Mexicans.
Oh my God, that was going to be my number 1 for you. And living to tell about it. That's the one.
That was dangerous. That was dangerous.
But they get a pass, remember?
Yes, exactly. Kev, I've done a lot. I had some buddies when late teens, early 20s. I mean, we would drive over a bridge over water. We would pull over to the side, and the last one to jump in the water was a pussy. Oh
yeah, I know. Yeah.
I would say some of those drops were a good 35, 40 feet, 50 feet.
Really?
Into unknown depths of water. Yeah,
exactly.
Pretty stupid.
Yeah, you don't know what's underneath there.
Yeah, did that 3 or 4 times. Pretty stupid. That's probably the most dangerous. But I did skydiving several times. I don't think that's dangerous. That's very controlled.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because for me that would be dangerous, but it actually is really quite safe. The one, and you witnessed this. I think you saw this. Yeah, I did. I know what you're going to say. I totally saw it.
Barber Motorsports Park.
Yeah, buddy.
On the motorcycle, Steve Rapp.
Steve Rapp.
Yeah, Steve Rapp. That's his name.
Uh-huh.
Does a wheelie with me on the back, and we were doing, Kev, 210 miles an hour.
Down the front stretch of Barbara Motorsports Park.
And, doing 210. And, he was told by the handlers, hey, Tuttle's the big alpha male, on radio here in Birmingham, Alabama. Let's try to, rattle his cage a little bit.
Give him a ride.
So he was doing some squirrely stuff that he usually doesn't do. And I was fine with it. I was like, man, this is awesome. What do you got, man? Come on. And then he just was like, all right, wheelies. And Kev, my back was maybe 2 feet from the ground.
No, it was a really tall wheelie.
At about 200, I just remember we were coming around the turn, and we got a nice little straightaway. And he looks back, he goes, "You hang on, you good?" He goes, "Hang on." Doosh! And I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Here's the weird thing about it, though. When he says "hang on," there's nothing to hang on to. All Tim's doing is Tim's got his chest on Steve Rapp's back, and Tim's hands are on the gas tank. They're on the he's not holding on to anything. He's just gripping that thing as tightly as he can. So hold on. Yeah, that's kind of an oxymoron.
Exactly. And the thing I really didn't like, and probably I should have when I saw it, I should have never even got on the bike. He had a T-shirt on the back of the T-shirt says, "If you're reading this, the bitch fell off."
But you didn't, so.
No, I hung on.
Yeah, you did.
I hung on. Kev, a few years before that, do you remember in Nashville, I flew with the Canadian Snowbirds
their formation,
air formation team.
Uh-huh.
And Kev, they were doing rolls on me. They were doing spins. We were doing heavy G's, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's dangerous. They're pretty controlled, but they were, I mean, again, hey, this is the alpha guy on radio here in Nashville. Let's screw with them a little bit, man. They're trying to make me throw up. They flat out said it. We're trying to make you throw up.
Oh, of course. Oh yeah. I mean, that's a badge of honor for them.
And I didn't, but on the ground, I was like, when we got to that back, I was like, ooh.
Hey, what's it like going, you're parallel to the ground, then all of a sudden they just shoot straight up vertical?
Unbelievably awesome.
I can't imagine.
Kev, I've always been enamored with speed.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just like with the skydiving, the 60 seconds of free fall where you're doing 130 miles an hour.
It's terminal velocity, they call it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so fast, and you have no barrier. You're not on a vehicle or anything like that. I mean, it's just you doing that speed. It's incredible. It is. I mean, I love speed, and you had a thing for speed too. I mean, you rode the rice burner motorcycles, man.
Yeah, that's one of my most dangerous things. Riding in Rocheron on a Suzuki GSXR 750 on a 2-lane road going 150. That's just dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah, I had a guy in college, Scott Benji. He would leave for the summer, and he had a GSXR.
Yeah.
And, in Indiana, they didn't have a helmet law or anything like that. And he would let me take it out. And hey, man, I would get that thing up.
Yeah. It's easy to do.
I mean, Kev, I remember no helmet, country roads, Muncie, Indiana, 170, 180 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And you see in the distance, there's some kind of, creature walking in the road, crying across the road, raccoon or something like that. And you're just like, that can kill me right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I look back on it and I'm like, man, any kind of rodent runs out and you hit it, you're done, dude. You're done.
Well, any kind of reaction you'd have, because even if you were like, hey man, I got to go straight. I mean, you have a natural reaction to avoid the rodent, even though every textbook says run right through it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. But no, oh man. I mean, I call it my cheating death era.
Yeah, and then I remember as soon as we moved to Houston, Kev, like you rode it on the Houston highways like once or twice, and we're like, this is gonna kill me. I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, Houston in a car is dangerous. Houston on 2 wheels, no, dude. Yeah,
you don't even exist. Particularly now that everybody's on their phone.
Yeah,
I mean, you cannot be riding a motorcycle on Houston highways.
Yeah,
it is
borrowed time, man.
It is so dangerous. I mean, you got right laners, left laners. You got, You got idiots weaving in and out. You got idiots on the phone. You got road rage with gunplay. I mean, the dumbest thing you can do is have one of those bikes. I feel bad. I say, Kev, anytime I see a motorcycle, screeching past me on a highway, I say a little prayer for him. Because I'm
absolutely.
like, that's somebody that ain't going to be around.
No, not long. No. I mean, because you think you're invincible on a motorcycle. Didn't you ever get that feeling too?
Yes, but you're very invincible.
Oh my God, you're the most invincible person out there.
You have nothing blocking anything. I mean, it's over. The good news is you don't suffer a lot.
No, very true. What was that de Gaulle quote? The cemeteries are littered with
the cemeteries are filled with indispensable men.
Yeah. Well, de Gaulle could have easily said the cemeteries were filled with motorcycle riders.
Exactly.
Zip by at 200 miles an hour.
Exactly. All right, Kev, what are yours besides the motorcycle?
So that would be one. Number two is something that I did when I was a sophomore in high school. We used to do these things with my four buddies called night missions, and we would do them on the weekends. And this particular one nearly got us arrested. We tried to climb the water tower in our local town, Oakville, and I got halfway up, and the cops came and saw us, and so I had to slide my hands down the side of the ladder and jump over some barbed wire fence, run through some brush about the size of 2 football fields, and then lay underneath a canopy of trees and leaves when they brought the helicopter out to look for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one of mine, Kev. Is another stupid thing we did is there were these buildings that were all 7 stories high, and they were right next to each other, and we were jumping from building to building.
Oh, that's intelligent.
And you had to have literally about at least a 22, 23 foot long jump or you're dead.
This wasn't dangerous, but didn't you rappel down the Four Seasons or one of the hotels in downtown Houston?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool, huh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've done. Yeah. I was the go-to. Hey, he's an idiot. He'll do it.
He's an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah. He'll do it. Get Tuttle to do it. And then, finally, my life insurance policy wasn't covering it. and unfortunately, my agent was a listener, and he's like, "Oh, you can't do that, dude."
Yeah.
So I had to scale that back.
Tim was next in line to do the Snake River Canyon jump.
At 3:36 p.m., the countdown begins.
3, 2, 1.
At liftoff, something goes terribly wrong.
And then, insurance kicked in.
Yeah, Caesar's Palace called and said, "Hey, New Year's is coming."
But my third most dangerous thing you were actually a part of, that would be the dolphin ride at Moody Gardens.
One of the greatest stories ever. Kevin Kline and I, we just moved to Houston. It's April of 2005. Before we even go on the air, May 1st of 2005, we're doing the tour of all these very valued clients that the radio station had, including Moody Gardens. We had a wonderful partnership with Moody Gardens. And so they're showing us some of the exhibits or whatever, and they take us to this little, I don't know, it's like the 3D screen and a little bit of a moving chair dolphin ride. And Kevin and I get on that with look like 2, young teenage guys, maybe 13, 14 years old. It's just the 4 of us. And within about 30 seconds of being on the ride, grown ass Kevin Kline starts screaming, "Stop this! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" And at first everybody's looking and thought he was kidding. He's his radio guy.
Uh-huh.
He's like jokey joke guy. Everybody thought, and then he continued with it. Kevin Kline flipped out on a ride that 5-year-olds think are hilarious.
Okay. So here's 3 things that were working against me. Okay. I don't like water. In this film, you're basically supposed to be underwater. It mimics the movement of a dolphin. All right. And so you're up above the water, you're down below the water. I don't like water. So I freaked me out there. At the time, I had a fear of the dark. It's completely dark in there. So that freaked me out. And then motion sensitivity. And this thing was like, you're jerked to the side, you're jerked up, you're jerked down. So yeah, on 3 different sensory perceptions, I was fucked.
Yeah, Kev, I remember, back at the station. I mean, the sales department was like, "What have we gotten ourselves into?"
Yeah, exactly. He's a freak.
I mean, what is going on here? I mean, it caused because Moody Gardens was like, really? So you're pitching us the morning show's going to come down and participate, and you got this clown, this chicken shit clown.
Well, then remember what happened at Berkeley Eye Center with me with LASIK surgery.
The same, like a week later.
Yeah. So I go into Berkeley Eye Center because they're one of our clients and they want me to have LASIK eye surgery. I was so freaked out. My blood pressure was so high. They gave me a Valium, and that still didn't calm me down. I couldn't have it done. Couldn't have the procedure done.
And he flipped out and walked away from it. And there's another sales rep and another client going, "Who's the new guys here? What's going on here?
Yep.
Are we going to be able to do business? I mean, what's going on here?"
That guy's a freak.
Yeah. That was so funny, man. That was so I basically was telling all the salespeople, don't volunteer him for a fucking thing. Nothing.
He pretty much proved it.
I will do all of the shit. Do not involve Kevin Kline. Do not.
Yeah.
I mean, we got 2 strikes and we haven't even done a show on the air yet.
We'll make up for it then, damn it.
Yeah. It'll be awesome.
Oh.
Took a little while.
Yeah, a little bit. But hey, we made it.
Kev.
Yeah.
I love see this to me was really something I look forward to on this podcast is the Tuttle Kline rabbit hole of the week.
Mm-hmm.
What grabbed your attention and sucked off your hours last week?
Road rage incidents. A compilation of road rage incidents.
Ooh.
Yeah. What's really weird about it is if you watch the road rage incidents, the people who are the ones doing the road rage and getting so pissed off are the 2 biggest, the pansies. They're the weakest people in the altercation,
Yeah.
It would be like, okay, if Tim and I had a road rage incident, I'd be the bitch getting out of my car and taking a golf club to his window. He ain't going to do that to me. I don't understand how the weaker person is the aggressor.
You've noticed that, huh?
I did notice that. Yes.
And then the other guy gets out of the vehicle, towers over him, and it ends very quickly.
Yeah.
You can't do road rage in the state of Texas. You just can't. I mean,
you shouldn't do it anywhere. But
no.
Particularly the state of Texas, yes. I mean, you've got the concealed carry, and for the most part, I mean, if you go countryside, you see the shotgun hanging on the back of the window.
Yeah, and Kev, I got an LTC license to carry, which you really don't even need to have in Texas anymore. I mean, it's constitutional carry now. But as a trained firearms guy with a license, I mean, that's one of the first things they tell you. They're like, you cannot be doing stupid things. You should know better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you getting into an altercation and you're armed, and the state of Texas knows you're armed and is licensed you're arming. You have got to have the coolest of cool heads.
Yeah.
So yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's what Miguel Yanez, the Navy SEAL, that my best buddy, who did all the training with me. That's the first thing he taught me is our goal in life is to never ever use a firearm ever.
So let me ask you this: with an LTC license to carry, and they tell you have to be ultimate cool head, okay? Is that to protect you from using it, or is that to protect you from getting into a physical altercation and the other person gaining access to your weapon?
No, that's to you. The mind frame is you got yourself in that position, put yourself in that position, and you're armed.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're armed. You have you have an advantage and everything like that. You're the last person by us licensing you. You're the last person that should be escalating or starting anything. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
You're the back off guy. You know, you're the only time you ever pull a weapon out is if you feel that your life or the life of innocent people are being threatened.
Correct.
And even then, make freaking sure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Make sure, because it's irreversible. Once it's drawn, I mean, somebody that's licensed like me and anybody that licensed and's been trained is, I've pulled it out. I, in my mind now, am prepared to kill somebody.
Yeah. You pull it out with the intent to use it.
Yes, it's out. You know, you always say, hey, drop your weapon. You always warn them, but that's usually immediately followed by, 3 bursts to the midsection.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about it the other day. I made a post on my Facebook page. One of the places where I run, it goes right by the police department shooting range, and they're out there all the time. And I stopped and watched them one day, and it just struck me that they're practicing for something they hope they never have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they have to do it, something else is probably coming their way.
Yeah.
To me, it defies logic that somebody would actually want to get in that situation, but they do.
Yeah. Miguel, I mean, his main thing was training is don't use it. Don't do it. Be a good witness.
Mm-hmm.
Notice some things, try to get out. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to get yourself out of the situation you're in. If there's like a mass shooting, you can find an exit or something like that. Heck, you can even rip drywall off to get to another room. You know what I'm saying? You can kick drywall in.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught us that. I mean, there's all, you can get up into ceilings, if you have time. Avoid it at all costs. But, if you absolutely positively have to, you pull it out, you kill them. It's messy if you don't.
It is. Oh, sure. Yeah.
So that's how you're trained, and that's how your mind frame is. And I just think every capable adult should at least be trained in that stuff,
Okay.
At least have the knowledge of it.
Yeah, I firmly demonstrated at Parris Island U.S. Marine Recruit Depot. I am not qualified.
Kevin will be a good witness.
I will be a really good witness.
No, there's a reason Kevin Kline runs 90 miles a week.
Why are you running? Are you doing this for world peace?
Are you doing this for the homeless?
Are you running for women's rights?
Or for the environment?
Or for animals?
They just couldn't believe that somebody would do all that running for no particular reason.
Oh, yeah. Fight or flight? Give me that flight, buddy. Yeah, quickest way out.
Kev, that whole incident was 3 states ago.
I just kept running and running and running.
Just wanted to make sure I was clear.
Uh-huh.
That's good. That's a cool rabbit hole, man. I love that.
What was yours?
I got into big heists. I was watching videos on heists.
Really? They have videos on that?
Yeah, like bank robberies and jewel heists and art heists, some of the biggest in the world where people clear, 20, 15, 10, $8 million. And like a lot of them are unsolved too. A lot of them they got away with.
Yeah, well, the Andy Warhol, the Campbell's soup cans, his original painting is still gone.
Still gone. Yeah, still gone. There's a bunch there's some Monets that are still gone.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a big one in France where they got away with so much, and none of it's been recovered.
The theft is massive. 13 pieces of artwork valued today at about $500 million.
When you're watching this, do they tell about how the theft occurred? Because it's got to be inside jobs, right?
Most of it is inside jobs.
Yeah.
Most of it is, the security guard's like, fuck, man, I'm making $7.50 an hour. I know how this operation runs. I know where the cameras are. I know what time the overnight security takes their lunch break. I know, where the camera recording, where they go to and which hard drives to grab. I know all of it. And there's this really, really hot girl, and She was talking about it'd be nice if we could do a trip maybe to Brazil or something like that, and
Yeah.
the next
Oh no.
thing,
I know. Yeah.
and the next thing you know, $2.7 million was stolen from the downtown Los Angeles, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah. But what makes me wonder now, because we're in a era of small technology, why don't they just insert small trackers on the most valuable pieces?
That's a great question.
I mean, is that just too simple?
It's so nano now. It's so small.
It's a hair fiber.
Yeah. That it would take the thieves forever to get, to like remove it. It would take them forever. It's microscopic.
Yeah. Well, how would the thieves even know which pieces have it and which don't?
Yeah. I mean, or you just, even on the, putting up signs or letting it be known, hey, every single piece in here, microscopic tracker. You'll never find it, or if you do find it, you'll have to ruin the painting, and in order to get rid of it. I mean, just warning you, just letting you know. You wouldn't even have to put them on there.
Ah, right, yeah.
You just have the sign.
Which a lot of people do for their home. This home protected by.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Don't got nothing.
Exactly. But Kev, the thing I noticed is, the ones that have been solved, it's always one guy in the group that does something stupid.
Oh,
the other 3 or 4 or 5 of them, locked tight, doesn't do anything wrong, taken care of. But, he goes and wants to purchase some real estate and pulls out bundles of cash with the labels on it, showing where it was and everything like that. Some real estate guy goes, boy, that was in the news 2 years ago, big time. I heard there's a $250,000 reward. They still want these guys. I'm going to go take this to the FBI. Instead of laundering the money like everybody else in the group did. We bought real estate. We did, we started our own businesses. I was an electrician, but I never did any jobs, but I did $250,000 a year the past 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
I'm following you. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody else is just one idiot, One guy decides, hey, my real job, that everybody knows about is I'm a janitor making $18,500 a year, and I'm going to buy my girlfriend a brand new Cadillac. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Of course.
No, I wanted gambling. Oh, really? Where were you gambling? Well, I was at Harrah's. Oh, what days were you at Harrah's? Da, 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 da. Oh, we just checked the video surveillance. You were never there.
Never there.
One guy, Kev. Screws it up for every single person.
Yep.
Kev, you sent me a message, and I have massive questions.
About?
That you went to your godson's preschool graduation.
Yeah, that's what we did on Thursday last week.
First question is, how in the hell are you a godfather?
Right?
Do you know what that entails? Or better question, the person that made you the godfather, do they know what that entails?
Yeah.
No, just tell me. I just want to make sure.
It was my brother-in-law. I mean, I'm actually a godfather. I'm a 3-time godfather. Okay. So
Right.
To my oldest nephew, Louis, and then to Will, and then to my niece, Olivia. And so what that means in the Catholic religion is that if something were to happen to the parents of the child, I then become the caretaker. I then become the parent. Exactly.
And the people who made you this, they did that by choice.
They know this. Yeah.
What the fuck are they thinking?
Path of least resistance. Yeah, he'll say yes.
Well, what are you thinking saying yes?
I'm thinking, I can't really say no because I'm related to these folks, and I'm just really going to pray hard that nothing happens before they're 18.
So in an effort to make sure Thanksgiving is never awkward.
That's right.
Kline says yes to something that could literally have him for what, 10, 15 years against the ropes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Kev, I wish ill on nobody, but I would absolutely love to see you have to be a father overnight.
Dude, I don't know how parents do it. I don't know how teachers do it. Preschool teachers, holy crap. I just don't have the energy. I don't have the energy for a kid. I don't. It's nonstop.
They give you energy though.
No, really? I don't see how.
Really?
I mean,
you're just like I got my boys.
Yeah.
And again, I have them only part-time. But I can't wait to wake up and do stuff. I'm like, all right, what are we going to do today? Like Kev, yesterday, watched some Indy 500 coverage, went out to the pool for 4 hours, was having a great time out of the pool for 4 hours. We come back in, we're showering and, hey, let's go play basketball. We're going to play I play basketball with them. I mean, it's awesome. And they're like, hey, what are we going to do today, Dad? Well, today we're going to play football. They're tied right now 2-2 in a football game, the championship.
Yeah.
And we're going to go play football before I go drop them off at mom's. So we got to finish that up. I love it. I look forward to it. I mean, it's blast.
Okay, so we're at my godson's preschool graduation, which I never had a preschool or a kindergarten graduation. I don't know where this trend came from.
Kev, that is the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you agree.
You've done nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, we got done finger painting.
Yep.
Yay.
Best glue sniffer.
Yeah, best glue sniffer.
Uh-huh.
I went the entire year without pulling any girls' pigtails.
Oh, here's the thing, though, Tim. These parents of the girls are showing up with flower bouquets to give them after they walk across the stage.
That's bad, man.
That's what I thought, too. They listen to this, and I don't say this because they listen to it. My brother and sister-in-law were the only parents that did not get out of their seats and go into the middle aisle and start pushing people aside so they could get the best picture. They were just there because they had to be there.
It's ridiculous.
Oh
man.
My God, dude. It's now I know why kids feel like they're entitled because it's 5 years old.
Oh yeah. 5 years old. Boy, I really didn't do much. I played a little hopscotch.
Yeah.
And I can drink out of this little juice box here. And suddenly they're making a big shit deal out of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid. I get high school, I get college. Anything else is just ridiculous overkill.
And they did the whole cap and gown thing with pomp and circumstance. And
is that an industry? Is that because it's like there's a good lobby in the celebration and party industry?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's a huge industry at that age. I just think that, they're just trying to make these kids more important than they actually are.
See, because we watched when we were kids, we were growing up, how the greeting card industry got powerful with this Valentine's and and then you got to make sure that you're getting a card and getting candy, and they got together with the candy and chocolate industry. Johnny Hershey's comes rolling in there and going, yeah, man, we got to make Valentine's a big fucking deal. Oh, hold on a second, I got to go over to the Easter convention. I'll be right back. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
So.
And then there's all this pressure because everybody's doing it. It's like the whole asking people to prom and homecoming. The asking the girl cost more than our actual homecoming and proms we had when we were kids.
Oh, the game that you have to ask these days, the creativity you have to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he skydives in. Being chased by gunmen, they're firing blanks, though. They're firing blanks. And, saves her life. And then just as it all comes to an end, hey, you want to go to homecoming? I mean, let me, if you're asking somebody to homecoming or prom involves a director and a photographer and some executive producers, if it's got a key grip, you went a little deep.
Yeah, and then you're setting up the expectation for a marriage proposal that just is probably going to pale in comparison to that. Don't set the bar so high for other guys, dude.
I want to back this off a little bit, if I could, Kev.
Okay.
I just think that I discovered a business opportunity. Tuttle's Prom and Homecoming Proposal Consultation Group Incorporated. Am I right?
Yep.
It's like, hey, dude, you're 16 years old. You're not that good looking. You're trying to get the homecoming queen from last year, who's also the head cheerleader. You're going to need some game. All right. What's your budget? I could get you a yes for $7,500. Otherwise, I'll drop 20% off of it.
They have wedding consultants. Why not?
Kev, the way this has escalated over the years, it's about time somebody just said, yeah, that's what I do. I only work in September and October, homecoming season, and then I only work in March and April, prom season, and I make $7.4 million a year. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. Now, what if it doesn't take $7,500 to pull off the proposal? I mean, is it all based on the enormity of the project, or is it just a flat fee?
Yeah, we have a catalog.
Okay.
We got the gold tier where we'll have car chases and, skydiving and, Kevin Hart will show up. I got the gold tier. And, if that's a little out of your price range, we can do something nice like make sure the announcer at the Astros game in between innings.
Oh, Bob Ford's going to do the announcing nice.
Does something in between innings, and he'll also record something for you, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, different packages, different levels.
Did I just start a new business right there or what?
You need to LLC that one right away, bro.
Or is it another one of my where I've done this so often and then somebody else will make millions of dollars off of my idea later?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's happened before.
Eventually, I'll follow up on that, Cav. Eventually, I'll follow up.
There you go.
I love it. Yeah, the preschool graduation, anyways, that's ridiculous. It's over the top. You're the godfather 3 times, right?
Correct.
Do you have to go to multiple kids' graduations?
No. Louis has already graduated high school. He's about ready to graduate college.
No shit.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. So you've been a godfather for a while.
Yeah, 22 years now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought this was a new phenomenon.
No, he still kisses the ring too. every time I see him.
That's funny.
That is funny. And then Olivia graduates high school next year, so we'll probably go to that. And then Will just graduated preschool.
That's funny. So you're in a long cycle of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I was just thinking about, I'm me, like my fatherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey 2001.
Yeah.
Timmy graduates 2034. 33 years of dadhood.
Yeah. Well, a lifetime of dadhood, but
well, you know what I'm saying.
33. Yeah, for sure.
Of a minor child.
Right, of a minor child, yeah.
Being on the hook for them, you know what I'm saying?
33 years.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I can remember one of the last things my dad told me before he passed away in 97. Tim, you don't have the makeup to be married, and you don't have to do what I did and, let one go too often, too many. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I don't know if anybody knows this, but your dad had how many kids?
14.
14 kids.
Yep.
How did Fred have time to go to work?
Well, Kev, it was never ending.
Yeah, he's constantly in the sack.
I've got half siblings that are old enough to be my mother and father.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that brings me to, something I wanted to talk to you about. There was a documentary about generational wealth.
Okay. Explain that for those who don't understand.
Well, along the lines, a generation or some generations build up enough of a nest egg and enough money that family's entire tree line is taken care of forever. Doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
They're covered. And, Kev, I'm 14th generation American.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from a very smart and, very productive bloodline. And I can remember asking my dad, I'm like, hey, Dad, I'm like 14th generation American. You're a lawyer. I mean, where's all our cake, dude? Where's all the money? And it dawned on me, 14 kids, 2 wives, I mean, my dad was making some great cheese all of my life, but before it was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, look at me. I mean, I'd imagine Audrey, Jonas, Dallas, and Timmy. Hey, Dad, you made a shit ton of money when there's popular radio host, big city. I did what Fred did.
Yeah. Well, he was your hero.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't have to emulate everything. I could have broke the cycle.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So, I saw that. I'm just laughing because, and that's another thing that they were talking about with the generational wealth thing is once you get 2 generations away from the productive aspect of that family tree, then they get all crazy and nutty and either blow it, or if there's just so much money, they start doing insane, evil shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like if somebody doesn't have to make their own cake, you're just setting them up just to be an evil fuck.
Well, okay. So then do you agree somewhat or fully agree with what Shaquille O'Neal does with his kids? And Shaq says, you ain't getting any of my money until you graduate college and until you've worked in a job. Then we can talk. Or do you agree with Elon Musk, who says, none of my kids are getting anything from me?
I absolutely somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
My thoughts and feelings are it is actually bad parenting to take the kids off of a trajectory where they would have their own lives.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where would they have their own accomplishments. I think that's being a bad parent. I think parents that completely spoil the kids, trust funds and all that stuff, you're fucking your kid over.
Okay.
You're robbing them of their life, of their opportunity to have a life by giving them that comfort.
Basically, you're robbing them of becoming their own person.
Yeah. And not only that, you're not doing society a favor because chances are, and it doesn't happen every time, but the dramatic majority of the time, you're making an evil human being.
Okay.
An apathetic human being, sociopath, narcissist, all that shit.
Well, is that person, the offspring, are they even equipped to handle that amount of money?
That's another question. That's another question. So, Kev, my thought and feeling has always been, I will be an investor in your vision.
Okay.
Like if my kids came to me with a solid business plan and they showed me they had the work ethic, I have no problems investing in their business.
Uh-huh.
But just handing money and giving freebies. Kev, I even felt bad for a while that, Audrey and Jonas, when they turned 16, I bought them cars.
Okay.
And I always thought to myself, one of the most prideful things that I did when I was a teenager was purchase my own vehicle. It was a piece of shit, but it was mine.
Right. Yeah. You worked for it.
Yes. I earned it. I mean, it was $784 and a catcher's mitt.
And a catcher's mitt.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I was short. The guy wanted like 850 for it or something like that. I said, this is all I have. He said, but I remember telling him, I said, no, well, next year I'm moving to shortstop. I got a catcher's mitt and I know you're going to catch next year. That's what coach already said it. And he goes, okay.
Parlayed that old catcher's mitt into a car. Nicely done.
Exactly. But I had that pride. I mean, it was garbage, Kev. It was a piece of shit Chevette orange. And I know you're from my era, so you remember those orange Chevettes.
Absolutely remember it.
And since it's Indiana, that because of the salt trucks, that the floorboards disappeared in these vehicles.
Yeah, they rust.
So I could see the ground passing by as I was driving it.
Nice.
But damn it, it was mine and it was freedom.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, no, I get it. For sure.
And I've often felt, and I've even talked to Jonas about it, man. I was like, did I steal that from you? And Jonas like, no, Dad, it's really cool. Thanks, man. Sorry I wrecked it. I really do feel that way, that you're robbing them of their life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody should have like the same opportunity to make something of themselves, to do something special, to do something that they have pride in. And if you're just a trust fund baby, you don't have that, and I think that they completely wasted their life.
Yep. Yeah. Like we said, not equipped. They're not equipped. I look at somebody like Gracie Hunt, who is the daughter of Clark Hunt, who owns the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. She's a polarizing figure because people call her a trust fund baby and all this kind of stuff. But she graduated college. She was Miss Kansas USA. And her goal in life is to become the female commissioner of the NFL. I think that she is that example that, she's made something of herself on her own, but she's also got that generational wealth that she'll be responsible for one day.
Kevin, and that goes into, I guess, another big buzzword that we're hearing a lot of is Nepo baby.
Oh yeah. Hear it all the time.
I get what you're talking. I mean, like Sofia Coppola should never have been an actress in Godfather 3. It was terrible.
Mary, you're such a warm-hearted girl. You always were.
I love my family.
Even your cousin Vincent.
I really love him.
He's your first cousin.
Then I love him first.
I mean, that was bad. But on the other hand, Jamie Lee Curtis, the daughter of Tony Curtis and Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Or Janet Leigh.
What did I say?
Jennifer Jason, which would be a really, really May, December.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know Jennifer Jason Leigh is the daughter of Vic Morrow?
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, the guy that lost his head.
Literally. Yeah, lost his head in Twilight Zone. In this scene right here. Ouch. Kev, I can't even tell you how many times I slow-moed that. And let me tell you this right now. Don't slow-mo it too much. Don't slow-mo. But yeah, she sued John Landis too, the director of that film.
Oh, wow.
And got a settlement. She sued John Landis and they killed her dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, of course, her and her dad were a little estranged at the time.
Yep. But when he gets decapitated, hey, there's money. Yeah, I loved him.
Yeah. Dad's like, you really had to go naked in Fast Times at Ridgemont High? I'm Vic Morrow. I can't have my buddy saying I want to fuck your dog. I can't do that. He was mad about that.
Wasn't he the coach in Bad News Bears?
Coach in Bad News Bears that slapped his kid on the mound.
You tried to hit him, didn't you?
No, just gotta
work.
He always played kind of a heavy.
Oh, he was great at it though, man. I mean, but that's the rumor is, he was harsh and hardcore, but the nicest guy. I mean, literally would talk to anybody.
Cool.
Behind the scenes, he's gruff. He would get into character and he could play the gruff person, but he had a kind heart, particularly for kids. He liked kids. Like when he did that role as this is because I went down a rabbit hole on Vic Morrow. When he did the role Bad News Bears where he punched the kid, his son on the mound.
Yeah.
For a few years after that, he would be walking and kids would avoid him because they were afraid of him.
Oh, wow.
They knew it, and he would like get down and, get down to their level and talk to them and stuff, like be a nice guy and everything like that. Hey, I was just playing a role. I'm not that guy. I got kids like you. And you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, because kids don't know the difference between movie and in real life at that time.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. It's Kevin, even up in your 20s. Because you remember when? Do you remember when they opened the Hard Rock Cafe in Nashville when we were doing radio in Nashville?
Yes.
And I went down there the opening night.
Uh-huh.
And I walked past Sylvester Stallone. I was like, how are you the heavyweight champion? I'll knock you fucking out right here.
Yeah,
he's
not
so
tall.
little. Oh my God.
No, not tall. Not at all.
I couldn't believe how small he was, man.
It's crazy how small most actors are.
Yeah. Oh, and I had somebody asking me that, because you and I have been in a position where we've met a lot of celebrities.
Yes, we have.
And they're like, well, who's bigger than you thought or big, or who would we be surprised who's big, who is tiny and everything like that. And I Craig Robinson, you remember him from The Office?
Oh, he's the Pizza Hut guy now.
Pizza Hut guy now. He's a big dude.
Yes, he is.
I was surprised at how big he was. I mean, he maybe an inch with the afro, even a couple inches taller than me.
Uh-huh.
I'm 6'2". I'd have him about 6'4". He's a big guy.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how big Craig Robinson is, but he's a teddy bear, nicest guy ever.
Super cool.
And others, who was big and who was not. I was very shocked at how tiny Kenny Chesney was.
Yeah, Kenny Chesney, not tall, not at all.
I was shocked. He didn't even want to stand next to me.
Uh-huh.
He didn't even want to stand next to me.
Yeah, because then it'll show the difference.
Yeah, he did not want a picture, did not want anything. Like, I remember that when he came to the studio. But who else, Kev? Surprised by their height or their size?
I don't know if I was so surprised that Rob Schneider was not.
Oh, and Chris Kattan?
Oh, Kattan. Yeah. Tiny.
Yeah, these are, I was shocked at how small they were.
Yep.
At how small they were. I don't know if you remember this, Kev. We were in Birmingham at the time, and our sister station actually had him on doing some kind of promotion. But I walked past Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I remember Dale Earnhardt Jr. Yeah, for sure.
Very small.
Uh-huh.
I was like, damn, I thought Dale was bigger than that.
I don't think he was as small as Tony Kanaan, though.
Tony Kanaan was tiny. Holy shit, dude. Erica looked down on Tony Kanaan.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, though. I mean, because you're an auto racer in an Indy car. You can't. I mean, Ryan Hunter-Reay is just completely the opposite. Hunter-Reay's over 6 feet tall.
Oh, yeah,
he still fits in that thing.
Michael Waltrip, I met him. He's as big as I am.
Yeah, very true. Waltrip
giant hand too. I remember he had a giant hand. Him and I had like huge. We were doing the giant handshake with each other.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, when two guys are big guys about the same size with giant hands, they come in for a shake. They kind of have that upward nod, going, "Yeah, buddy."
But yeah, for the most part, my uncle's tall.
Yeah, Kevin Kline is tall.
Yeah, my uncle's tall.
Vince Vaughn, huge.
Oh, he's a monster.
Dude, Vince, were you shocked at how big Vince Vaughn was?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that is that 6'6"?
I thought he was 6'5". 6'5", yeah. Might be 6'6". But yeah,
monster.
Big.
Blake Shelton.
Big.
I was shocked at how big Blake Shelton was.
Tall guy.
He's bigger than I am. He's 6'4", 6'5", at least. Blake Shelton is.
Yeah. Trace Adkins.
Huge. Oh, Trace Adkins is one of those guys. If you hit him, you got to kill him.
Yeah,
because he won't stop.
Yeah, no, and his voice too. His voice is going to keep going. That's just going to scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, he was big. Who else? Big, small. Who's shocked? Jane Seymour, very tiny.
Okay, yeah.
Was Aykroyd bigger than you thought he was? Aykroyd was taller than I thought he would be.
Very much so. Yeah,
He's about my height too.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Yeah, here's a picture of Dan Aykroyd in studio with us. That was great. That was a great day, man.
Man, was that awesome or what?
Uh-huh.
I mean, there were just times where Kevin and I were looking at each other across the board, going, "Is this really happening?" And Dan Aykroyd being in studio, because I've always idolized him and Bill Murray to me. Some of the early Saturday Night Live guys. And basically, I even told Dan, and I don't know if you knew this or not, there would be no Saturday Night Live without Dan Aykroyd.
True.
because he was not only a huge star of that first cast, he did a ton of the writing. While the rest of them were doing cocaine on the streets in Manhattan, Dan was writing.
Yeah.
Now, Dan did his fair share of cocaine too, but he would parlay it into writing. But yeah, Aykroyd was a big guy too, man.
Yeah, Aykroyd was great. Keith Urban is a good size. He's not diminutive, that's for sure.
No, Keith. I thought Tim McGraw would be taller.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Oh, here's one, Kev. Garth Brooks is about my size.
Garth Brooks is a big guy.
I did not know that. Did you know that?
I knew he was an athlete, and I can't remember if it was a javelin throw that he did in college. I think. Yeah. So I mean,
no, I knew he's an athlete, but when I look at him physically, I always thought, jolly.
Jolly.
You could tell that he enjoyed the biscuits and gravy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But then you get up next to him, and it's like, wow, man, you're big, dude. You're bigger than I thought you were.
Yeah. No, he's solid. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Who Miranda else? Miranda Lambert, tiny.
Kev, when we met in Las Vegas, Hulk Hogan, I thought he would be much bigger. He's not 6'9" like they listed.
No, there's no way he's 6'9".
He is not. I mean, he's maybe an inch or two taller than me, but he ain't 6. And you remember that's how they listed him WWF when we were kids.
Totally.
6'9", 325, rock solid muscle, Hulk Hogan. Bullshit.
Nah, there was no 6'9" there.
No, but Andre the Giant, on the other hand,
it was every bit.
Yeah. Did you ever see him up close?
I never met Andre.
I was probably about 50 yards away from him.
Really?
And you can tell just by in comparison to the people walking around him that was a very large mammal.
You ever read stories about his drinking proficiency?
Brother, I was with him one night when he drank 106 beers. 106. Yeah. That's Andre the Giant, brother.
I remember, Kev, and he is. He's an international star. Everybody knows him, making really good money as a top flight wrestler, WWF at its heyday. And I just remember looking at him and I felt sorry for him. I was like, where can he go?
You're right. He was trapped in himself.
I mean, I remember it's just so weird, the snapshot of him. It was at Market Square Arena.
Okay.
When I was a teenager. And I just have the snapshot in my head, just everybody just looking up at him everywhere he went, everywhere he walked.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't even matter who else was in the crowd, who else was on the bill or anything like that. Andre the Giant, everybody, every single body in the room. Because it was just such, and I was like, man, that's got to get old.
You would think. Oh, I don't know how Taylor Swift does it.
Oh yeah. Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Oh, that can't be a life. It just can't be.
Kev, you remember, we've talked to two people who were some of the most famous people on planet Earth at one time. Do you remember we talked to Henry Winkler, who was the Fonz?
Love him.
He was awesome. Was he awesome to talk to or what?
He's one of my all-time favorite interviews.
Oh, he's great. But, when he was the Fonz, late 70s, he couldn't go anywhere.
No.
He couldn't do anything.
Iconic character.
He could not. I mean, he was that famous. This is when there was only 3 channels and Happy Days was the biggest show on TV and the guy couldn't go anywhere. Okay. And I could just imagine, I mean, he literally couldn't leave his apartment, his house, his hotel or whatever, can't leave because it just causes a massive uproar. Luke Perry was another one.
90210.
Do you remember in the early 90s? I mean, how famous that dude was?
Oh, people were getting their hair cut like him.
The sideburn, Kev, I immediately
cut the sideburns, yeah.
I immediately cut the sideburns. As soon as I saw 90210, it was just after I graduated college. I was like, oh yeah, that's my look now. I did immediately cut the sideburns. Did you ever do the sideburns like that?
No. No, yeah. I mean, I couldn't pull that look off.
No, you could not.
No.
But these are people who are in prison.
Well, we talked to Jessica Simpson too.
Yeah. Not I wouldn't say as much as those two.
Okay.
I mean, would you? I mean, to me, people who couldn't go anywhere or do anything, Elvis, the Beatles,
Madonna,
Madonna, the Fonz, Luke Perry. Is that even? I mean, The Rock, but I think The Rock loves it.
Yeah, I think The Rock thrives off of it.
I think The Rock specifically wants to go run errands, so he can be The Rock.
The thing that we loved about Henry Winkler was, there's this this phrase in American lexicon called "jump the shark," and I mean it's become vernacular in America, and it's all based on when his character Arthur Fonzarelli in Happy Days actually was on water skis and he jumped a shark, and it was the downfall of that series.
There he goes.
And we brought it up with Henry Winkler, and he embraces it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like ashamed of it. He doesn't shy away from it. He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool that, a moment that we did is still living on.
Well, not only that, but he pointed out how it's a misnomer too, how it's BS, because they still had, another season and a half of top ratings.
True. Yeah.
It was like the time we hung out with Costner, by the way, who was taller than I thought he would be. Kevin Costner. Remember we hung out with him?
Yeah. Picture right here.
At his hotel. And then we talked to him another time too. Love Kevin Costner. But, we brought up that it just seemed like the critics were trying to knock you down when you did Waterworld. And I always thought that was a pretty good movie. I liked Waterworld.
I saw it in the theater. Loved it.
And he even said it's not the box office bomb that people think it is. We made money off of Waterworld. So yeah, sometimes it's just hype. It's just bullshit.
Costner was so candid. I mean, you want an honest answer from an actor? Talk to Kevin Costner.
He was great. Was he not awesome?
Dude, he was amazing.
I mean, and he answered everything.
Everything
that we asked him. I was even asking stuff probably I shouldn't have asked just to see if he would answer it. He'd have no problem answering it.
Yeah. No problem at all.
He was great, man. Crash Davis and
he
JFK.
Loved Whitney Houston. He loved Whitney Houston from The Bodyguard, their time there.
Whitney, if you could hear me now, I would tell you, you weren't just good enough. You were great. You sang the whole damn song without a band. You made the picture what it was. A lot of leading men could have played my part. A lot of guys could have filled that role. But you, Whitney, I truly believe that you were the only one that could have played Rachel Marin at that time.
Said national treasure.
Called her a national treasure.
National treasure. And I'll sometimes call people a national treasure just because Kevin Costner put that in my head. I'm a little looser with it,
Yeah.
Like I commented on an Instagram post of Frank Caliendo's. He did like a string of celebrity imitations.
Uh-huh.
I go, Caliendo, national treasure.
Which nation? He's Canadian.
No. Caliendo's Milwaukee, dude.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I always thought Caliendo was from Canada.
Don't you remember when he was in studio? I was like, dude, you're Milwaukee too. And he goes, you were Milwaukee? And I said, yeah, Shorewood. He goes, motherfucking rich boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, Milwaukee's just South Canada.
Yeah, well, true. True. Yeah. Yeah. He went to UWM, UW Milwaukee. Yeah. He's a Milwaukee guy. He's a Packer guy.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, he was a great guy. He was nice. Super nice guy. He actually gave you his phone number and said if you want to get in touch.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I can't call him.
We only had two people that I can remember ever do that. And that was Caliendo gave you his and Bert Kreischer.
I got Kreischer's number.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got Kreischer's number. I got Clemens's number too. Clemens gave me his number.
He did. Yep. Yeah.
He said if one of your boys ever, shows some velocity, bring him up to spring and I'll work with him.
And so Timmy's about 2 years away.
I'm telling you, man, the kid's piping it, man.
I know. I saw him hit.
The kid's got that way, and he's got next year they start pitching. I don't know if they let the 9-year-olds pitch. He'll be a 9-year-old next year, but by 10 he'll be firing it.
Cool.
So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
that will be a blast.
I can't wait. Hey, Rocket, Timmy's coming up. We're on 45 right now. Be there in 10 minutes.
There you go.
He's like, you probably should let me know maybe a day or two ahead instead of being on 45, getting ready to exit.
Yeah, Debbie's got to put the steroids away. Damn, she's still hooked on him. She's still hooked on him.
Kline, that was Kevin Kline, Rocket. That was Kevin Kline. All right, this was a fun episode. I got to go be a dad, Kev.
Okay. Yeah, well,
I got to go feed the boys some waffles and some sausage biscuits.
Sounds good.
Make sure you like, follow, download, subscribe, give us a rating. Let us continue to do this podcast. You are the life's blood. Also, buy our merchandise. Go to the Tuttle Kline Facebook, and there's an easy way to order right from there. Coming up this week, Kevin Kline. I'm rolling into June, man. I'm just rolling into June.
Can you believe we're in June already?
It's coming up on June. But Kev, tomorrow will be my first day in about 3 or 4 weeks lifting weights. I'm going to give it a shot tomorrow.
How's the shoulder feeling?
A little bit better. I'm gonna go slow. I mean,
yeah.
Kev, I was doing workouts that a guy my age shouldn't have been doing, and that's probably what it was. So I'm just gonna start off slow and lighter weights and more reps and a little less sets. Just to get myself worked into it. Lathered
just
up.
Ease into it. You've got 11 more months before the combine.
What do you have coming up this week, man?
2 things. You'll find out this week about the intervention with Kim Kardashian and her shopping because I talked to Evan Jarschauer. But this is one of my favorite weeks of the year, Tim, and it's because Snowdrop actually gives out our college scholarships this week, and we're giving out $290,000 to 113 applicants. It's the biggest we've ever done.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
I love it. What's the total that you've given away, a ballpark at this point? What is it? 15, 16, 17 years, 18 years?
Let's see, June 14th, 2006. So you do the math on that one. You're quicker than I am.
18 years.
Okay, 18 years. We have given away $6.55 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, big pimping in the NYC.
And you'll finally, in September, get to see yourself on the big screen because I don't think you've seen Delivering Hope yet, but it'll be on Amazon Prime in September. And
I can't wait.
You're in it.
Oh, and Kev, I'm also volunteering if you want to. I'm gonna play in your softball tournament.
Are you really?
If you want me to.
Hell yeah.
And just so you know, you remember you remember Jim Carrey and Cable Guy.
Yes.
I warm up, I get ready. I'm out. Yeah. It ain't a hit and giggle for me, man.
Hold on, I gotta warm up. I don't want to pull a hammy.
I come to fuck shit up. I come to go yard or go home.
Well, cool. I didn't know you were going to play.
Well, if you want me to, if you got a team for me, I know maybe you got some full rosters, but if you got a spot.
No, I'll get you in touch with Jeff, the manager. We'd love to have you.
I'm not trying out either. I don't.
No, Tim, believe me, you don't have to try out for the Snowdrop team.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Does it suck?
Actually, we're getting better. We were 2 points away from, and I say points because I know it's runs in softball, but they do it by a point system. We were 2 points away from making the championship game last year.
Okay. You don't mind if I reach out to the Rocket and maybe Biggio and see if we can stack that team a little bit?
Dude, bring them. Bring them. Oh my God, that would be awesome. Hell, just bring one of Roger's kids.
It's like I could see me walking onto the field and everybody going, "Oh God, he's here." Yeah, but I bought friends. Later, man. I'm out.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. Also, you can catch Tuttle on TV. He is a handsome man. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.